What's going on, familia? Today I want to share with you my real estate investment portfolio. To be honest, it isn't even all that big, at least not yet. And so I want to come out with this video before I become like the next Ben Mala, and that way you know how I got started, you know how I found these properties and how I even came up with the money to begin investing in the first place. So I think that this will also serve as an inspiration to many of you guys who think that investing in real estate is pretty much impossible. If a regular W-2 employee, average Mexican American can do it, I'm sure you guys can too. So hopefully I can be a little bit inspiring throughout the video, but if anything, this can just be a video that I look back at myself as well and just think like, man, look at how far I've come. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so the way that I actually want to share my investment portfolio with you is by just drawing it out. I think that that's the best way to help you understand like where I'm at. So I'm gonna get my handy dandy whiteboard out here. I was actually looking for this and I found it along with a bunch of other stuff in my garage because we still aren't fully moved into this house. But let me not get too far ahead of myself here. What I want to share with you right now, I'm pretty sure you can kind of see the ring light right now, but hopefully you can see my drawings here. The first property that me and my wife bought was in 2018. And we bought it at $130,000. Okay. This property we bought as a consumer, not as an investor. If we were investors, we probably wouldn't have bought this house, just because I'm pretty sure we bought it at like pretty much market value. There was another family that had went in after us and offered to buy it at a higher price, but the sellers kind of knew our situation, and because we were the first ones, they kind of just played it as a first come first serve, and we ended up buying it at $130,000, even though they were offered like I believe like 135 or 137. So we did get lucky kind of there. I see that as a big blessing for sure. And around this time, I was still big into network marketing. I was expecting to become a top earner in my company within a couple years. And with that money that we were going to make, we were going to buy ourselves a big house and we were going to buy apartments so that we can have even more passive income. But around 2019, I quit building my network marketing business. And I won't get into all that right now. I actually made a video explaining why I quit my network marketing business. I'll leave a link up here and probably a link in the description down below. But let me just put this down real quick and continue explaining what's going on here. So around 2019 is when I quit, and I started looking for more ways to make money. And that's when I turned to YouTube and I found a lot of guys that were my age that were making a ton of money off real estate. And I knew that real estate was always a very legit way to make money. I just didn't know how, and I thought that you had to, have a ton of money to do it. But when I really started consuming this content from these young guys and I started learning, I was able to start getting confident into doing it myself. And so it was in 2019 that I really dedicated a ton of time to just learning, to analyzing my market through Zillow and Realtor.com, and then saving money. So I'm going to write here on the whiteboard, 2019, I dedicated to learning and saving. We'll go ahead and put that there too. And then came 2020. And this is where I want to talk a little bit about how I was able to come up with the money to begin investing in real estate. And the way that I was able to come up with the money is, wait for it, my job. Yup, it was through my job. And I feel like a lot of people, especially nowadays, always bag on their 9-to-5 job and how they want to get rid of it and how they don't like having a boss and they just rather not take orders from anybody and put their own hours and do freelance work. And that's great. More power to you. But to me, I just see a job as a good stepping stone to propel you forward to become an investor or to become your own boss eventually. But that's why I'm so grateful for my job, because that has really been the thing that has been able to propel us forward to become investors into real estate. And I'm just going to break down for you real quick how much I've made in the past year that allowed me to make these investments in real estate. All right, so last year I got paid $115,000 after taxes. But just as much as you make really good money, you can spend really good money. So you got to just be careful with your lifestyle there, because as soon as you start making more money, you begin to look at other things that you can begin spending your money on. and your hobbies get more expensive and your lifestyle gets more expensive. So you just always got to make sure that whenever you get an increase in your pay, go ahead and save that. Put that money aside and keep saving it. Actually, while I was looking for this in my garage, I found something else. It's right here actually. Me and my wife had actually set a goal to set some money aside for different things. And one of the things was for a vacation. I don't know if you can see that right there. But this envelope says vacation on it. And I was supposed to be putting money in here so that we can set money aside to go on vacation. And real quick, it's empty. All right, it's completely empty. There's no money in here because me and my wife saved most of our money so that we can invest in real estate. So that's just one of the sacrifices we've had to make. Not really a big deal. A lot of people do that. So if you're not doing that already and you really want to begin investing in real estate, make sure you do that. Quit going on vacations, sacrifice those real pricey things so that you're able to do it. Another thing that happened, aside from saving our money, what we did was we built up our 6 months emergency fund, and then the rest of it, we were able to accumulate enough to be able to invest in our first property. So come August 2020, we bought our first investment property. But here's the kicker, okay? I'm gonna share a couple of details about this property to you. This property that we bought was a fixer-upper. It's also the house that we're living in right now. So what we did was when we bought this house, we decided to move out of it when we bought this one and convert this one into a rental. So now this one is no longer our primary residence and it's a rental. And now this one is our primary residence for now. Okay, we bought this one at $149,000. And it's so funny because this house is actually only like 3 houses away from this one. Both of these houses are on the same street. And I would drive by this house all the time going to and from work. And the sign said that it was a for sale by owner. So I ended up calling up the owner and we ended up striking up a deal and I bought it for $149,000. It was a fixer-upper. I do have a video on this property on how I was able to fix it up. I'll put a link up here again and put a link down at the description below so you can just click either or. But that's the house that we're living in right now. So even though it's an investment property, it is our primary residence for right now. But I do intend moving out of this property so that we can also make it a rental. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put primary residence. Primary residence. I hope you guys can read that or follow that somewhat. And then now it's kind of crazy, but my wife found a property. And I don't want to get into it too much because I want to make that a video on its own. Long story short, we're under contract for another property. So now December 2020, we are under contract for another property that we are expected to close on December 20th. So without giving too many details, because I do want to make a video on it, under contract for this property for $55,000. And this is going to be a rental. So right now, technically speaking, we only have one rental, and that's that one that we had moved into in 2018 and just recently moved out of and converted as a rental. But soon, we will have 2 rentals come December 21st, 2020. And then eventually, I'm going to move out of this property, the one that I'm living in right now, that I'm shooting this video in right now, and convert it to a rental, and then I'll have 3 rentals, and then I'll have a primary residence. And so I hope that this gives you a really good idea of the properties that I have right now and, you know, the prices that I bought them at. Right now, though, the values have changed. Even though I bought them at this price, their values are quite a bit higher. Actually, this one that I bought in 2018 is now worth around $165,000. All right, that's the value of it now. And then this one at 149 is also around $165,000. And then this one that I bought at $55,000 is worth around $70,000. So you can see right there that I did pretty good at buying some houses. I mean, I'm not upside down on them. I've got equity in the homes, and if I decide to sell them, I can make some money off of it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to rent them out so I can continue to have that passive income. For me, that's what it's all about. And I'm just going to continue rocking and rolling because that's how this business is built. So hopefully soon enough, I'll be meet Kevin status and have 20 plus investment properties that are generating me passive income every month. But I hope that this provides clarity to you, and hopefully it also provides value, because I really am just a W-2 employee. And even though the oil field pays a ton of money, there's a ton of other jobs that also pay a lot of money, and you don't have to necessarily look into the oil field to make a lot of money. A lot of the guys that I watch on YouTube that are my age that have made millions off real estate have had jobs like sales in pest control. And I think, to be honest, he's still a salesman for pest control. And then 2 other ones were real estate agents. And then another one was a couch flipper. And seriously, guys, there's a lot of other things that you can do to make a lot of money so that can supply your investments. So really look into it, work hard, and pray for opportunities to come your way, and I'm sure you'll be able to find some. Thank you guys so much for watching and for staying all the way to the end. If you stayed all the way to the end, comment my favorite number down in the comment section below, the number 2. And that way I'll know that you really watched to the end. Thank you guys so much for your support. Don't forget to give your boy a like right below this video. Thanks again. We'll see you guys next time.